Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. We're gonna go over a full card predictions for UFC Saudi Arabia. In the main event, we got Nasruddin Imavov taking on the former two-time champion Israel Adesanya. In the co-main event, we got Michael Wyndham Page moving up to 185, taking on the up-and-coming striker Shara Bullet Magomedov. Should be a fun co-main event there. And we also got a heavyweight matchup. Pavlovich taking on the Rozenstruik. So this card is honestly, I would rate this card like 9 out of 10 for a fight night card. That's my opinion. But yeah, let's take a look at this card. Just stacked. The main card is absolutely stacked for a fight night card. Even better than some pay-per-views. This main card is way better than UFC 312. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong in saying that, right? Like, this is just a lot better. Might not turn out like better, but I honestly do think this card's way better than UFC 312 right now. The way UFC 312 stands right now, I know Ilya Toporia's brother is making his UFC debut. He was supposed to fight Cody Haddon at UFC 312. Apparently, Cody Haddon is not going to be fighting at UFC 312, next week. So they're looking for a replacement for Ilya Toporia's brother, so he can make his UFC debut next week. But let's talk about this week, guys. This first fight on the card. Let's start with the early prelims. We got Hamdi Abdelwahab taking on Jamal Pogues. So Hamdi is actually a really good wrestler. Doesn't really wrestle enough, in my opinion. He made his UFC debut like 2 years ago. He took on Donald Mays, one of the worst heavyweights on the roster. And they're kind of giving him the same type of guy here. It's just the same stylistic matchup. For Hamdi, I feel like Jamal Pogues a little bit quicker. I think he's quicker with his striking. Like, he throws nice leg kicks and jabs. And he's got pretty good distance management at heavyweight, and he's one of the faster heavyweights. Doesn't have a lot of power. Either he's not really trying to like put a lot of power behind his shots, or he's just trying to like outpoint you. I feel like he's one of those heavyweights that just trying to outpoint people. His taking defense is honestly not that great. He can be taken on. He was taken on by Josh Parisian, one of the worst UFC heavyweights we've ever seen in the UFC. He also got taken on by Thomas Petersen in Petersen's debut. He was able to defend takedowns later as the fight kind of went past the first round in that Thomas Petersen fight. So this fight pretty much comes down to, can Hamdi get the takedowns on Jamal Pogues? We haven't seen Hamdi for 2 years. I don't know. He might look really good. I know people still are really high on Hamdi. I can't pick a guy that I haven't seen fight in 2 years. Maybe he looks really good. Maybe he looks terrible. Maybe he's gonna get takedowns and just ride top position on Jamal Pogues. That's the way he's gonna win. I feel like Pogues has a pretty good chin, so I don't see Hamdi just knocking him out with one one shot or anything like that. I'm gonna go with Jamal Pogues, just being the better, having the more experience, fighting the better opponents in the UFC, and also being more active. We haven't seen Hamdi for 2 years, so I can't pick a guy that I haven't seen for 2 years. Next fight on the card, Bogdan Grad taking on Lucas Alexander. Man, this is actually not a bad matchup for Lucas Alexander. He's a good kickboxer, whereas Bogdan Grad mostly more kick heavy, but he's actually a pretty good striker also. I think Bogdan Grad has a better durability. He's making his UFC debut here, so the line's actually coming down now. Like, he opened up at like -200 for Bogdan Grad against Lucas Alexander, who's coming off a loss to Jeka Sergey. And that's Jeka Sergey's only win in the UFC, and getting knocked out in the first round, a fight where he was -500 in, is not a good look, right? I can't pick a guy that's been finished in the first round 4 times. He's never like lost by decision. And him getting starts by Jeka Sergey, the way he got starts by Jeka Sergey. I know Jeka Sergey has a lot of power in the first round, but still, like, just getting knocked out by Jeka Sergey. At least Weston Wilson fought Jeka Sergey, and he got knocked down right early. He was getting hurt early. Then he was able to pull guard and get a submission. Like, he was still able to recover. I just haven't seen the recovery from Lucas Alexander. I don't think Bogdan has a lot of power like Jeka Sergey, but he still has some sneaky. He can land on people, and if he can touch that chin, I think he can hurt Lucas Alexander. So I'm gonna go Bogdan. It's an even money fight at this point. -120 for Bogdan. +110 for Alexander. This is a fight that I might just stay away from, see how Grad looks. In his UFC debut, he fought on Dana White Contender Series twice. He fought Tom Nolan a few years ago. He got KO'd in the first round by Tom Nolan, one of the biggest 155ers out there right now. Wouldn't say biggest. He's definitely one of the tallest lightweights out there right now. I'm gonna go Grad. I think he can win this fight. I'm gonna say submission, second on submission for Grad. Grad right now is -120. Yeah, this line's way too close, man. If he's plus money, I'll take a shot on him at plus money, like -120, even money, making his UFC debut. Normally fighters that make their UFC debut win at like 41% or like 45%. So normally you don't want to be betting fighters at chalk unless you're really confident. Like I'm like next in a few weeks, Delatov is gonna be fighting Fugate. I'm really confident Delatov is gonna run through him. He's like -300. Like that's the fight that I'm really confident in. This fight, if Bogdan can hurt him early, this could play out closer than I feel like than some people think. I feel like give me Bogdan to win and get it done in his UFC debut. I think he can finish Alexander. Alexander is kind of a glass cannon with a chin and his submission defense. Next fight on the card is Jasudavicius taking on Mara Bueno. This is actually a huge step up for Jasudavicius. She's going from fighting girls like Maverick, fighting girls like I mean Maverick's not horrible. I'm not saying Maverick's horrible, but still, she's going from fighting girls like Priscilla Cachoeira, fighting girls like who else does she fight? I know she fought Natalia Silva, so her losses are not terrible. She loses fights where she can't get takedowns in. She lost to Tracy Cortez. She was able to get takedowns to Tracy Cortez, just really didn't wrestle early enough in that fight. If she wrestled early, I feel like she definitely would have won that fight. She just her boxing's not good enough against Tracy Cortez. Cortez was just able to box her up for like pretty much the whole 15 minutes. Mara Bueno, on the other hand, she's mostly Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, BJJ fighter. I mean, what am I saying? BJJ fighter. She's comfortable on her back. Her striking is actually a lot cleaner than Jasmine Jasudavicius. So if this stays on the feet, I think Mara Bueno can win. And she's hungry, man. She's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. So this fight pretty much might be her last fight. I mean, you never know, right? Even though I can see the UFC, I can see the UFC like he's still keeping it around. There really isn't a lot of women's MMA fighters in the UFC right now. So Mara Bueno, she fought at 135, right? Wasn't she fighting on 135? I swear. Yeah, she fought for the title at 135 at bantamweight. Now she's then she fought who else did she fight? Her last fight was Macy Chiasson. Now she's gonna be fighting Jasmine Jasudavicius at 125. So Mara Bueno might be strong enough to defend takedowns here. And I don't think Jasmine Jasudavicius has the best takedowns. I do think she's really strong and has a cardio. Her cardio is way better than Mara Bueno. And man, I feel like Mara Bueno can pull this one off. Honestly, like she's +170, +180 underdog. She's gonna have to like defend takedowns and just land the better shots on the feet. Can she do that? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think she can. She's probably gonna win the first round, and I can just see Jasmine getting top position on her and just riding her out from top position. So I'm gonna go Jasmine here. I like her momentum. I like her cardio. I think she's tougher than Mara Bueno. Mara Bueno is coming off losses now. 2 losses in a row. Where both those fights were pretty similar, versus winning early and he loses later as the fights go on longer. Give me Jasudavicius to win. I don't think this is finishing Silva. It's gonna be Jasmine by decision. So he has to stay safe in the grappling though when he's on top of Bueno Silva, because Bueno Silva is one of the nastiest submission grapplers from off her back. Next fight on the card is first GM taking on Mike Davis. Typical striker versus grappler matchup in my opinion. I'm gonna go Mike Davis here. I think Mike Davis can get takedowns and he can just control him on the ground. Striking isn't horrible. He has some power, but mostly just a boxer. He'll throw a kick for here and there, but not really doesn't really throw a lot of volume on the feet. That's something I don't like from Mike Davis. If you throw more volume, I'd feel even better about Mike Davis. But I still think Mike Davis can get takedowns. First GM, even though he's been winning fights, he's still been getting taken down recently. He gave away 6 takedowns to Pogues. Gave away, I don't know how many takedowns he gave to Frola, but Frola really isn't known for his striking and for his grappling. He's mostly known for his brawling style of knockouts. I mean, give me first GM. I mean, give me Mike Davis to win by decision. So I think submission is live for sure. But Mike Davis, I'm going to go Mike Davis here. Next fight on the card is Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hadžović. Terrence McKinney, I mean, this is a matchup that he should probably win. This is the UFC. The UFC's been doing Terrence McKinney pretty much like this. Like they gave him a winnable fight. Like they gave him that guy from who made his UFC debut on short notice. What was his name? I can't remember his name. He was a 145er, and he made his UFC debut. He got started by Terrence McKinney in the first round. I mean, obviously, Terrence McKinney is first round or bust, and he's minus 400 here. I mean, he should be minus 400. Damir hasn't fought in 2.5 years, but if Damir can weather the early storm, I think he can win this fight. If he can weather the early like 7.5 minutes, is he gonna win? I mean, I just think this is like the UFC giving him this matchup because this is probably one of the last matchups on his UFC contract. He hasn't been fighting that much recently. He's not really as quick in the striking. Takedown defense is pretty horrible, so I could see McKinney just taking him down, submitting him, or like just even knocking him out on the feet in the first round. Obviously, right? Once it goes past the 7.5 minutes, McKinney's a different fighter. I'm gonna go McKinney. I gotta pick McKinney here. I did pick Ribowicz over McKinney, so I think I have a pretty good read on McKinney is. Damir maybe can get takedowns in the second and third round. But yeah, for now I'm gonna go McKinney. I think he can hurt him early. But yeah, I don't think I feel comfortable parlaying McKinney with his cardio problems and the durability and the chin problems and all that, right? He's been taking a lot of damage, never gone the distance in the UFC. So under 1.5 rounds, I think is pretty solid here. I like the under. I do like the under here. McKinney minus 360. I think the under is actually pretty solid. Under 1.5 minus 225. Next fight on the card is Abdul Karim Al-Selwady taking on Balazioki. So, I mean, it sucks for a lot, like Abdul Karim Al-Selwady, because his last fight is in his UFC debut took on Rabadana, who's a really big dude for the weight class and has really good wrestling. I mean, and Karim Al-Selwady was actually able to take him down. Now he kept getting hurt on the feet. His chin's actually pretty bad. Doesn't take shots as well. He's been knocked out 4 times now. He's like another Beneil Dariush. They have all the skills to win, and they have good cardio, pretty good wrestling, and BJJ. They just have they're chinny. I mean, pretty much they're really chinny. And if you can like stuff their takedowns, then just make it a striking matchup, and you can land on them, and they can land on you. You're probably gonna be able to hurt them at some point. Even though I don't think Balazioki is like one of the best strikers out there right now in the UFC, but he recently just got his brown belt in BJJ. He went out there. I had money on him over Chris Duncan, and he just pretty much sold. He was beating up Chris Duncan on the feet. Easy money there. Then he wrestled for no reason. I don't know why he wrestled in that fight. So it kind of shows me that he's still kind of green, doesn't have his full game together. He's still just going out there figuring it out. I think Oki is going to be able to hurt him at some point, but we have seen Oki get taken on before. He got taken on by Timothy Kwamba, who's 145er, and took that fight on short notice, like less than a week's notice. So I don't know, man. Is Oki legit? I mean, I know he knocked out Dylan Salvador on Dana White Contender Series with some knees and stuff like that, but I mean, he's gonna have to land some even more power than that to put away Al-Selwady. Al-Selwady is coming off that horrible TKO loss where he took a lot of unanswered shots to the back of the head. And the referee, that was probably one of the worst stoppages that I've seen. They should have stopped the fight way earlier. So at least Belazioki, like he went to sleep, right? He didn't get knocked out. So Al-Selwady got knocked out. So I'm gonna go Oki here, just because of that. I can't trust a guy that's chinny like Al-Selwady. Even though Oki isn't really the best fighter right now, he's gonna make improvements. The more we see him out there, I think he's gonna stop making less mistakes and find his rhythm out there. So I'll give me Oki to win by KO TKO. Oki right now is minus 155, so the line's kind of flipped. I'm gonna go Oki, yeah. Next fight on the card is Shamil Gaziev taking on Thomas Petersen. This should be Gaziev all day. I mean, like, this is the matchup that he should be able to win. Is he going to finish Thomas Petersen? I'm not even sure if he's going to finish him. I don't think Gaziev has a lot of power. Let me not say he doesn't have a lot of power. He probably hits hard. He doesn't have any knockdown power. I mean, I haven't really seen him drop anyone in the UFC. His grappling is legit, though. He can grapple, even though I've seen him get taken down on Dana White Contender Series by that absolute Ken. So he can be taken on, but in the grappling, he's actually pretty solid. He's going to be a lot bigger than Thomas Petersen. He's going to have the size, he's going to have the reach advantage here. He's going to have the better striking, with more power. I'm going to go Gaziev here. I think Gaziev should be able to win. Thomas Petersen is a pretty good wrestler, so I don't see Gaziev just getting on top of him, ground and pounding him like that. I don't know if I can see that happening. But I could see Gaziev just walking him down, landing big bombs, and just kind of like walking him down, winning the moments like that. Pretty much doing what he did against Don Tomays. I hope he finishes Petersen. I think he could finish him. Honestly, like, I'm not even sure if he's going to finish him because he should have finished Don Tomays and he couldn't finish him, right? Don Tomays trains with John Jones, so take that for what you will. Give me Gaziev to win. I'm going to say Gaziev wins it on the scorecards or maybe like a third round stoppage. This being only 0 rounds should help him. He shouldn't be gassed out in this fight. And I don't think Petersen can finish him if he's tired. Rozenstruik couldn't like even put him down because Gaziev has a really good chin on him. All he has to do is just work on that cardio, and he should have this one in the bag. This is a pretty confident pick. Minus 400. I mean, is it kind of wide for Gaziev? I think he should be minus 400. This is a good matchup for him. This is like really easy matchup. He should just control this fight and win this fight pretty easy. Next fight on the card is Muhammad Naimov taking on Kano. Hopefully. Excuse me, guys. I'm still kind of sick, recovering. Not really feeling 100%, but we're here. So Ofli is coming off lost on Ultimate Fighter, where he took on Marlon Santos, and he was trying to get takedowns. He was trying to get his game going. Really didn't have a chance. Had the over 1/2 in the parlay there. That kind of hurt that he got knocked out so early. It was one of the worst knockouts I've seen in the Ultimate Fighter. Ofli to win, he's gonna need takedowns here. Or he's going to need a Naimov to engage in the grappling. And is he going to engage in the grappling? I think Naimov is stronger than Ofli. Ofli has better BJ overall. Like, he's got a better submission game overall than Naimov. But Naimov, like, the only time he's ever been finished was by Felipe Lima. And Felipe Lima, we know Felipe Lima is as legit as anyone out there right now at 145. And Naimov, we've seen him a fight at 155, right? He took on a Malarkey at 155 on short notice. He was losing that fight like the whole way around before he found that KO. So I don't know how good Naimov really is. I think his striking is going to be good enough here to just kind of piece up Ofli, maybe hurt him on the feet. And I think he can defend takedowns of Ofli. Ofli has a pretty good gas tank though. Like he can push a pace on people. His striking isn't that good, and I'm gonna go Naimov here. I think Naimov should be able to win at home. This should be Naimov. I wouldn't say Naimov all day, but this should be Naimov's fight to lose pretty much. He's as long as he doesn't just get taken out over and over, he doesn't get controlled on the ground, lose rounds like that. I think he can win the fight. So give me Naimov to win by like I'll say like decision. Honestly, a decision. I think. Hopefully, it's pretty tough. You got to put him away. Next fight on the card. This might be canceled. I heard rumors this fight might be canceled, but let's break it down anyways. If it's not canceled, Aliskerov, he's coming off that loss to Whitaker, where he took on Whitaker on short notice because Chimaev couldn't make it. In Saudi, and was that Abu Dhabi? I think that was Abu Dhabi. Yeah, last year. Now he's gonna be taking on Andre Muniz. Muniz is a pretty good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappler. He got 11 takedowns on Jinyang Park, which is kind of impressive because Jinyang Park is known for his grappling also. The reason that fight was so close is because Muniz wasn't really doing any damage in that fight. And I had Turtle. I thought Turtle was going to win that fight. But yeah, Muniz was still able to get 11 takedowns and control the fight for like 12 minutes of that fight. So he did a lot of work to win that fight. And looking back on it, rewatching the fight, you could have given it to Muniz. I mean, it wasn't the worst decision ever. I was actually pretty pissed off at the time because I gave it to Muniz, but it is what it is, right? They pick and choose when they want to go with damage or they want to go with control time in the UFC. That's the way it is. Not sure if that's ever going to change. I think Aliskerov has him covered pretty much everywhere. This fight might actually be canceled, but Aliskerov is my pick. And if this fight is still happening, Aliskerov is going to win by KO, TKO, ground and pound. Next fight on the card, Nurmagomedov taking on Muniz Oliveira. This should be a banger. One of my favorite fights on the card. Muniz Oliveira, you guys know I've been high on Muniz Oliveira since he made his UFC Contender Series debut. Had him there by KO, easy money there. We had him over Solpai, my lock of the week over Solpai. Muniz Oliveira came through for us. Had trouble early. He was struggling early. He was getting taken on in the first round, getting controlled in the second on a bit here and there, getting a struck on the feet. He had to kind of wait for Solpai to drain his gas tank pretty much for him to take over that fight. That's the way he won. Landed one of the craziest flying knees I've seen in the UFC. Probably the KO of the year in 2024. It has to be the KO of the year for me. Crazy, insane KO. Now he's going to be fighting Nurmagomedov. He's been in the UFC for like almost 10 fights now in the UFC, and he doesn't fight that often, but Nurmagomedov, I mean, we see the last time, right? You guys probably think he's going to wrestle if you guys haven't seen him fight, but he's far away from wrestling. He can wrestle if he needs to, but he likes to strike, and he's got some of the nastiest chokes that you're ever going to see. Front chokes, ninja chokes, guillotine chokes. And if he has you in the choke, you're going to go to sleep or you're going to tap out. He's not going to let that choke go. That's my only worry with Muniz Oliveira. He does shoot takedowns for no reason when he doesn't have to. Against Ricky Simon, he's winning the striking exchange. Ricky Simon, then he gets a takedown. Ricky Simon for no reason at all. Like, what, you don't have to get that takedown, bro. Like, why even shoot that takedown on like Ricky Simon, who's known for grappling? I mean, I know he doesn't have the submission skills outside Nurmagomedov, but still, you can't be shooting like those takedowns like that from on a guy like Nurmagomedov. Striking, I feel like the striking is going to be close. Nurmagomedov has really good kicks, and he's probably going to be quicker than Muniz Oliveira. I feel like he's going to be faster early. But Nurmagomedov gets tired as the fights go on longer. We've seen that with Nurmagomedov. We've seen that with Usman Nurmagomedov. They just start to get tired once you put pressure on them. I'm still going to go with... man, this is tough, man. This is actually tough. This might be one of those fights where side shows levels to Muniz Oliveira. I'm going to go Nurmagomedov. I really wanted to go with Muniz Oliveira, and he can win this fight, but he still makes a lot of mistakes out there, and I just feel like side's only going to need one to capitalize. Give me side to win, and I'm going to say submission, like some type of submission. If he doesn't find the submission, Oliveira by decision wouldn't be a bad play. Because I don't think Oliveira's finishing him. If he's gonna win, it's gonna be like a close 29-28 decision for Oliveira. So maybe look at Oliveira decision props. I know he's knocked out a lot of people out there, but Nurmagomedov has a really good chin on him. Next fight on the card is Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik, guys. I mean, this is an absolute banger. I cannot wait for this fight. I mean, honestly, a part of me wishes this was an Apex, because that would favor Pavlovich, I feel like, more. He wouldn't have Rozenstruik wouldn't have all that room in the octagon to move around in. This one, they're in the bigger octagon now. So now Rozenstruik has way more real estate to move around and avoid the power of Sergey Pavlovich. The first round's gonna this pretty much comes down to the first round, in my opinion, because Pavlovich becomes more predictable as the second round and third round, because he doesn't throw a lot of. He's just mostly a boxer, and he has a lot of reach. Right, 84-inch reach advantage is insane, and he has a really nice, nasty jab that he can just hurt people with jabs. He was hurting Blades with jabs over and over. We had him there as a nerdog over Blades. Pavlovich has cost me. I had the under 1.5 rounds and against Volkov. I wouldn't have placed that bet if I knew they were friends. But yeah, he just got pieced up with 30-27 by Volkov. Not even close. On the other hand, I mean, Rozenstruik got ran through by Volkov. He got knocked out in the first round. Got hurt to the body with the T kick to the body, and he got finished right away. So they both have their deficiencies. Pavlovich has more power. He's gonna have the reach advantage. The card you got favor Rozenstruik. Is Rozenstruik gonna be able to just move around, like run away like he usually does? Against Tuivasa, like just wasn't like he was too comfortable like just dancing around against Tuivasa. It was way slower than Pavlovich. Pavlovich is quick, man. Like he shouldn't have the speed that he has, but he's actually really quick. He's not fighting someone that has a crazy reach advantage or can match his reach. I mean, like Volkov. Volkov's really tall, and so you really can't land clean shots on Volkov like the way he's gonna be able to land on Rozenstruik. I gotta go with Pavlovich, but honestly, like if you guys want a long shot prop on Rozenstruik, maybe decision for Rozenstruik wouldn't be a bad play. But I just feel like the first round, it's gonna be hard for Rozenstruik. He can put away Sergey Pavlovich too. Sergey Pavlovich, he's been knocked out before. So like we can't just like pretend like he's never been knocked out. Right? He got taken on by Aliskerov over him, got grounded and pounded, which is probably not gonna happen here. Rozenstruik really doesn't go for takedowns. Maybe it would be smart for Rozenstruik to get a takedown on Pavlovich, but Pavlovich is really strong. He's built like an absolute fridge, so he's probably not gonna get taken on. I'm gonna go with Pavlovich to win by KO TKO first round. I hope he wins, man. I like Pavlovich. I'm a fan of Pavlovich. Biggie Boy is obviously the better counter striker, technical striker. But yeah, it's gonna be hard, man. The first round, maybe live bet Rozenstruik if he survives the first round. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure if he can survive the first round. Next fight on the card is Shura Magomedov versus Michael Wyndham Page. Man, this is an absolute banger. I mean, like this is the co-main event that we need on a Canadian card. Like, why can't we get this on a Canadian card? We're gonna get we had last two UFC cards. We had Rose Namajunas versus Aaron Blanchfield as a co-main event, and then we had our main event. I mean, UFC 289 was Aldana versus Nunes. I mean, like they keep doing Canada dirty with the matchups. I mean, but let's break down this fight, guys. So Michael Wyndham Page is moving up to 185 for this one. He's probably gonna have the speed advantage here. I could see him being a little bit quicker, and he's really not easy to find out there. Like Sir Magomedov's been fighting people that don't really like. They just kind of like pressure him. Like my Mikhail Lajic was pressuring him. And he's a firmer light heavyweight, right? Mikhail Lajic used to fight at 205, and he was way slower than Magomedov. Then he took on Trick-Holy on short notice. First rounds were like, I mean, it was anyone's round. The first rounds were really close. Magomedov was getting clinched up against the fence. I mean, he was kind of getting struck early. Then he found his. Then when he seen Trick-Holy get tired, he's like, let me just get this guy out of there. Then he knocks him out in the third round. Then he took on Armen Petrosyan. That fight was really close. If you go rewatch the fight, it was really close. Magomedov was landing the better counters, but Armen was actually pressuring him, pressuring him the whole time, walking forward. Armin's actually a really good kickboxer, but I think Michael Wayne Page is tricky. Like, it's not as hard. It's not as easy to find Michael Wayne Page. It's not as easy to land counters on Michael Wayne Page, because he'll close the distance and he's out of there like really quick, man. This guy, like, he's been KO'd before, so we can't forget that, right? He got knocked out by Douglas Lima in Bellator, where I think he threw a body kick or like a head kick, and he slipped and he ate uppercut from Douglas Lima and he got knocked out with one shot. So there's definitely a possibility that Magomedov can catch him, right? We just seen him land a double spinning back fist recently. I mean, in his last fight. How crazy was that? I mean, that was insane. So maybe you can time something like that as Michael Wayne Page is closing the distance coming in and closing the distance, so I could see him getting hurt. This being in Abu Dhabi, I mean, in Saudi Arabia, favors Magomedov. I am gonna go with Magomedov. I think Magomedov can get this one done by decision. Next fight on the card is Israel Adesanya taking on Imavov. Bro, I watched a lot of tape for this one, so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anything on Imavov. So Imavov, obviously nowhere near the level that Adesanya has been on the past like I don't know how many years. Former two-time champion Adesanya is gonna be looking to beat Imavov at UFC Saudi Arabia. Mostly known as Adesanya is obviously, we all know he's a kickboxer. Has gone 5 rounds so many times. I don't think he's had a 3-round matchup in I don't know how long. He's gonna be bringing all that 5-round experience into this fight. He's gonna be bringing in all the championship experience to this fight. Faced a much better opponents. I mean, like Alex Pereira. I mean, how many times is that? 4 times now. 2 times in kickboxing, 2 times in MMA. Blachowicz fought Blachowicz. I mean, he's faced nothing but killers in the past few fights. And Imavov still is like unknown, right? People really, I mean, I feel like most hardcores, they know who Imavov is, but they're really not familiar with his game yet. And Imavov's tricky, man. They call him the sniper for a reason, because his counters are sharp and he's quick, he's fast. He can grapple. I know we don't see him grappling that much recently, but he grapples. When he does grapple, he grapples really well. He was out grappling to Roman Dolidze, who's known for his grappling mostly. Imavov has heavy ground and pound once he's able to take your back, and like he can hang on you with that Dagestani. I don't even know what you call those. Where they just grab your back and just hang on you, make you carry all that weight on underneath you. I mean, we just seen Adesanya get taken on. I was watching Israel's last few fights. I mean, and he was getting taken on by DDP. I mean, he was giving up takedowns to he wasn't getting taken on by Strickland, but he was getting taken on by Whitaker. I mean, like he gave away easy takedowns to Whitaker in the rematch. Whitaker is known as a striker. I don't think Whitaker has the grappling that Imavov has. Guys, I'm gonna go with the Imavov and the main man. I think Imavov can pull this off. I think Imavov's chin is actually really solid. I've never seen him hurt. I've seen him eat a clean knee from people like Buckley. Buckley hits hard, man. And Buckley was hitting with some clean flying knees and stuff like that. And Imavov wasn't even flinching. And he was out wrestling Buckley too. I mean, Buckley's strong, and we don't see people just taking on Buckley and out wrestling him easy. And Imavov just was able to just do that, whatever he wanted to Buckley in the first 2 rounds. He was getting tired in the 3rd round because he was trying to finish that fight early, so it's not shocking that he was getting tired. Even against Strickland, man, like Imavov was lighting up Strickland on the field, landing big bombs on Strickland. Now, obviously, Adesanya can go out there, prove me wrong, and make this look easy. Just stay at range, just leg kick him to a decision or something like that. Maybe high kick him. Maybe just frustrate him with the range, because Adesanya has really good feint game, and he can keep you like kind of guessing at range, just taking pictures, and that could happen here. But I'm gonna go with Imavov +140, +150. Haven't bet it yet, but I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm waiting for like all the people to bet parlay Adesanya because I think that's gonna happen later this week. I'd be kind of shocked if it doesn't happen because I think most people are gonna parlay Adesanya because most people they don't know who Imavov is, and for rightfully right, like he hasn't done anything. I mean, he's taken out contenders like he's supposed to, but he just hasn't had the big spots like Adesanya has had. Give me Nasruddin Imavov. I think he can pull this one off by like a 48-47 decision for Imavov. Those are my predictions, guys. I'll go over my predictions once again. I'm gonna go Nasruddin Imavov in the main win. I'm gonna go Magomedov in the co-main. I'm gonna go with the Pavlovich in the heavyweight matchup. Nurmagomedov, Aliskerov, Naimov, Gaziev, Palasioki, McKinney, Davis, Jasudavicius, Grad, and I'm gonna go with the Jamal Pogues. So those are my full card predictions. Let me know who you guys have in the comments down below. I would love to hear your guys' opinion on in the main event and the co-main. Let me know who you guys are rocking with in the main and the co-main. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.